blockers, which is actually titled cock blockers, but they can't call it cock blockers because that's too inappropriate, so they put the rooster in front of blockers, so pretty smart way of advertising the name, in my opinion. But anyways, Blockers is a teen sex comedy that stars Leslie Mann, John Cena, and the one other guy. I can't remember his name. He was in Neighbors. He was in Suicide Squad. Guy's funny as fuck. But the movie revolves around the three of them. They all have three girls who are all seniors in high school. They're gearing up for their prom night. You have Leslie Mann's daughter who's going to prom with her boyfriend, who she's in a very committed, serious relationship with. You have John Cena's daughter who's just going with this guy at school who's apparently a drug dealer. And then you have the other guy's daughter who's going with them as their best friend. She has her own date that's coming along, but nobody knows that she's actually a lesbian. And at one point just before prom starts, the three girls decide to make a sex pact that tonight, prom night, they're all gonna lose their virginity. Unfortunately though, their parents, they're all able to intercept the text messages from Leslie Mann's daughter's laptop, and now they're just like, alright, we can't allow this to happen. We're gonna cock block them tonight. And now we have a movie that was honestly really fucking hilarious. First of all, one of the things that I did really like about this movie was the chemistry between, honestly, everyone. I really loved the chemistry between the three girls in this movie. You really do buy them as best friends. You buy them as people who have been through their entire childhood together. And you buy them, you know, wanting to do this mission together, wanting to make tonight extra special. And you can see it in the way they talk to each other, the way they are with each other, the way they hang out with one another. You really do buy a strong friendship there. So I gotta give credit to the actresses for being able to have that chemistry, because that's obviously very important in a movie like this. But even the chemistry between Leslie Mann, John Cena, and... Alright, you know what? Fuck it. I'm looking up the guy's name. Ike Barinholtz. I really gotta get better at learning people's names. But I really love the chemistry that was between the three of them, because they're all in the same boat together. They all essentially wanna, as they feel, help their daughters. But what I also love is seeing their reasoning behind wanting to, you know, stop this from happening with their daughters for one reason or another, is because it really does come off as what parents feel, or how parents feel a situation like this should be handled. Parents in their situations, I should say. And let me explain what I mean by that. In Leslie Mann's case, she's been a single mother her whole life. It's been her and her daughter basically against the world. Her daughter's just about to go off to college, and Leslie Mann is, of course, very nervous and very terrified of her daughter leaving her, especially if her daughter wants to go to UCLA, which is a very far away college. And she doesn't really totally buy in that, you know, her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend are like a serious couple, like they really love each other. You know, she fears that, you know, because her daughter's boyfriend's going to UCLA, that's why she's going to go to UCLA, and, you know, that's going to lead to her screwing up her whole life along the way, because essentially that's what happened with Leslie Mann when she was her daughter's age. And then you also see in John Cena's case, you know, he's the father of a teenage girl, which when fathers feel they need to be super protective of their daughters, you know, he's getting all up in her date's face, you know, really intimidating him, really trying to scare him and punk him. And, you know, when he finds out that, you know, his daughter's gonna try to have sex tonight, he's like, oh no, I gotta stop that, because that guy, he'll try to take advantage of her. I can't let that happen. Ike Barinholtz's story is a little bit different though. You know, he and his wife divorced. His daughter is very estranged from him, doesn't really want anything to do with him. In his case, he doesn't want John Cena and Leslie Mann screwing up this sex pact, because he doesn't necessarily want it to ruin his daughter's big night, because he knows with teenage girls, prom night is the most important night of their lives. He feels that if he can make it the best night ever for her, then, you know, it can be, you know, a way for him to rekindle the relationship he has with her. But at the same time, he's also going with them to stop the sex pact, because the date that she's going with, who is a guy, she's intending to have sex with him to kind of, I don't know, explore her sexuality, but he knows deep down that his daughter is gay, and, you know, he doesn't want her to do something that she's gonna regret. He wants her to embrace who she is. So I did, in a way, as much as I can. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I can't fully understand, but I did see why each of them wanted to go on this mission to stop this sex pact. Because it harkens back to, you know, parents immediately think they know what is best for their kids. So now we have the three of them on a mission to stop their daughters, and the movie is just really funny in how they're trying to do that. You know, there are moments where they go to an after party at the prom and John Cena has to beat another student in butt chugging. At one point, they're trying to figure out where their daughter's gonna end up at the end of the night. In order to figure that out, they have to go into a house of another kid's parents while their parents are like doing sexual activities, and they gotta try to avoid being caught, and eventually they have to try to get involved somehow, some way in the sexual activity. It made for one moment in particular that had me dying laughing. But where I'm really gonna give this movie props is the movie, A, does a really good job with character development, and 2, it has a lot more heart than you think it would. I mean, sex comedies, they're not known for really having that, you know. The story behind sex comedies is just, you know, these teenagers trying to lose their virginity and then hilarity ensues, and that's it. In this case, it goes a little bit deeper than that. Go deeper than that. I'm talking about a sex comedy. That's just me laughing at my own jokes. But reaches the final third of the movie, and it's at this point the daughters are preparing to lose their virginity, and it's here, you know, Leslie Mann has like snuck in on her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. They're preparing to have sex. But it's here, you know, she thinks about stopping them, but she really sees just how far her daughter's boyfriend went to make the night really romantic, make the hotel room they're staying in really nice and sweet and heartfelt. And she really does see in the moment here, it's like, you know what, he really does care for her. They really do have a deep love for each other, and she's like, you know what? It's best for me to allow this to happen. So, you know, she's able to ninja her way out of the hotel room just before, you know, the two of them are about to have sex. So, you know, she somehow gets out of there unseen. Then it switches over to John Cena and his daughter. And, you know, his daughter just seemed like she wanted to just lose her virginity, just get it out of her system. And, you know, she's in the hotel with her date, and they're about to have sex, but she realizes, you know what? This isn't the best way to lose my virginity. I shouldn't lose it to you because we don't know each other that well yet. I think we should start off just getting to know each other. And, you know, her date totally agrees with that. But, of course, John Cena assumes differently. So, you know, he busts into the hotel room, you know, basically tries to kill her prom date. But, you know, she stops him and, you know, she tells him, it's like, look, I get it. You're my dad. You want to protect me. But I want you to know I'm going to be fine. I love you. I've learned how to defend myself from you. You know, it's a sweet moment where, you know, John Cena's just like, I don't want to fail as a parent. I want to protect you. And she's like, you've prepared me enough for the world that I can protect myself. And then we get to Ike Barinholtz finally meeting up with his daughter, Sam. His daughter tried to have sex with her prom day, but she just couldn't go through with it because, you know, she's not into him like that. And finally, Ike Barinholtz and his daughter, they just sit down. They have a father-to-daughter conversation, and he tells her, it's like, I haven't been a great parent. I admit that I've been a fuck-up. I want you to know that I know I wasn't the greatest parent, but your mother has misled you a little bit along the way. She did try to make me out like the bad guy. It's no excuse, but I want you to know that I'm here to be here for you right now. I was trying to make tonight a great night for you to rekindle our relationship. I know it hasn't exactly gone that way, but I do want you to know that I'm sorry. And it's in this moment his daughter is obviously touched seeing how far he was willing to go to give her the best night ever. And it turns out in this moment, she finally comes out to her dad. It's like, Dad, I'm a lesbian. And, you know, he's obviously, you know, touched that he was the first person she told about her sexual orientation. And, you know, it's in this moment, she's very nervous. She's like, what will my friends think? And he tells her, it's like, if your friends are truly your friends, they will love you regardless. As, you know, the night ends with the parents, you know, feeling like they've accomplished something. You know, a friendship has kind of, like, rekindled between the three of them. You know, they all feel like, you know, they gave their daughters the night that they needed. Leslie Mann's daughter and her boyfriend, they do end up having sex, and, you know, everything's great with them. You know, John Cena's daughter accepts, hey, you know, I'm not gonna have sex tonight, but that's okay. And then Ike Barinholtz's daughter, she comes out to the two of them. They accept her immediately, and she's also able to go talk to her crush, who is also a lesbian. Those two end up together, so it really works out for everybody in the end. And then at the end of the movie, they send all their daughters off to college, where Leslie Mann is, you know, really holding back tears at the thought of her daughter going to UCLA. But, you know, they had that whole, it's like, Mom, I'm not gonna be far away forever. You know, you'll always be with me, you know. One of those touching moments, and then the girls just all go off to school together. So all in all, Blockers was a really funny and just really well-made comedy in general. I loved the chemistry between the friends. I really loved the chemistry between the parents in this movie. The movie has its raunchy, it's hilarious, it's really sometimes over-the-line moments that have you dying laughing, but it also takes a step back from that, and it gives you some heartfelt, some emotional moments that are good for a movie like this. I love how the movie touches on, you know, friends wanting to do these big, incredible things together, you know, setting these goals for themselves or these pacts, whatever. I love how it touches on, you know, parents feeling they need to be super protective of their kids because they feel they know what's best because they ultimately don't want to let their kids go. The movie had really good humor. It had me laughing when it needed to have me laughing. It had good emotional moments. It hit me in the feels when it needed to hit me in the feels. And in the end, as far as comedies go so far this year, this is probably the best one so far. I definitely gotta say that. Will it be that way at the end of the year? I don't know. It's still maybe a little too early to tell, but this was definitely a movie I very much enjoyed. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.